Hey everyone, it's Carrie with the Thrive Community. Today I want to talk about the topic of the relative priciness of health food and healthy produce, organic foods, and so on, and creative ideas on how to actually make this work with your budget. There was one book that I found particularly inspiring. It's called 12 Steps to Raw Foods. And I'm not bringing this up to suggest that everybody starts eating only raw foods. It's more just about some of the examples that were set in the book, just about buying good quality food in general. So I wanted to read a passage right now because I found it super helpful, and I think that some of you probably will too. So, Victoria Butenko writes, "For my family of 4, I spend on average $45 per day. That comes to $13.50 per month, but it's divided by 4, so it's only $338 per person. I would like to clarify that we spend this much money on food not because we are very rich, but because we do not have health insurance and we consider our health to be the priority among all of our expenses. I'm aware that I need to receive adequate nourishment not only for today's performance, but also to make up for thousands of days in the past when my body was malnourished. There were times when my family didn't have much money. Once, for 2 years, the 4 of us lived on a total budget of $900 per month. That included car insurance, gas, and the rest of our expenses." So this was around 1997. This wasn't back in like the 50s or something. So that was truly a very small amount of money at that time. So she shares some creative ways that they came up with to get a bunch of really quality foods and produce. "We discovered many different ways of obtaining good produce for little money or no cost at all. We just had to spend more of our time sorting or gathering produce rather than buying it. Igor built a special attachment to our van for growing sprouts in jars in 2 large coolers. We constantly had an abundance of fresh sprouts for the cost of pennies. We approached different organic farmers and offered our help in exchange for fresh fruits and vegetables. We bought marked down organic produce from health food stores. We learned to arrive at farmers markets by the end of the day to get the best deals on their goods. By attending several wild walks with experts, we acquired foraging skills and started gathering wild edibles for most of the year. We went to countless U-picks and gathered anything from cucumbers to peaches. Finally, we offered help in picking fruit to owners of fruit trees who did not have time for harvesting." Looking back through my own life, I didn't used to have the amount of money that I have now, and I've been through many different phases of having different kinds of budgets. But I can relate to Victoria Butenko that health and healthy food has always been one of the biggest priorities. Because really, if it's one of the easiest ways to make yourself feel good day to day, plus to be very functional and not having to spend extra resources of money and time being caught up in being sick, things like that. And the truth is there's probably always going to be certain things that you can't afford, whether it's things you want to implement for your physical health or things you want to implement for your mental and emotional healing. There's pretty much always going to be a bunch of amazing things that are kind of expensive that you'd like to have or do but can't. So the best thing to do is not to get all worried and tripped up about what you can't make happen, and not to feel discouraged and give up on the process just because you can't afford certain things. It really is true that where there's a will, there's a way. And I always made that happen for myself. Sometimes it means just giving up other things that aren't as important, but it pans out better in the end to really invest in the health and in the health food especially. And if anybody out there has some good suggestions that they want to share, I recommend putting them in the comments below this video so that other people who may be beginning the path or having questions and wanting suggestions could benefit from the same solutions that you've come across as well. And this can be not just in regards to physical health, but also mental and emotional healing too. Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for tuning in, and I'll talk to you next time.